Hey, everybody. Happy Easter to you all. I hope you're all doing well. I didn't know what time to do it today because, one, I've been working like a dog for the last 2 days on trying to get my court appearance together for tomorrow, which is going to be really scary and ugly. But I figured 4:30 might be a good time. It's like after lunch or before dinner, depending on how you celebrate, if you celebrate at all. And I stayed home today to do the work, so I didn't. Normally, I would, do some kind of Easter festivities with the family, but considering tomorrow's daunting task, I decided to just put the nose to the grindstone and get cracking as best as I could. Um, so I just been home all day. I just finally got out of my pajamas because I just finished this. And it was horrible. This is my answer to the courts that she's full of shit. And then there's all my exhibits. And there's 14 of them. And it was really daunting to get that together from all the... I had to do so much work, like getting my files together and putting them in order and chronological order. And I don't know how lawyers do stuff like that. I have no clue whatsoever how they do that. But let's see who's in the room. Selena, happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter to you, Selena. I hope you're having a joyous one. Also, she says, best of luck in court tomorrow. Thanks so much. Well, I'm as prepared as I can be. I've got a couple of, I've got copies of this out to some of my smartest friends just to make sure that I did everything right. Hey, CW Watch enthusiasts, happy Easter, Dirk, and to all the Bashtards. Well, happy Easter to you. For everyone who celebrates that. It's always weird to find out, like, when Easter and Passover, like, man, this beard needs to get trimmed. Holy crap, I look like, oh man. When Easter and Passover don't align, what are they, 2 weeks apart this year? It's really crazy. Dean says, Easter eye basher. Indeed, here we are. It's not so many people in the room tonight. Well, it's 31, but nobody's saying anything. I am live, right? Because the day I started with Michaela, it was really crazy because I started the show about 7 minutes before she came in the room, and I was yakking, and I was seeing the chats, and I was answering them, and I wasn't live. So I don't know how the hell that happened. It was very, very, very weird. But we started the show all over again, and she was there, so I had her from the top of the show, which was great. How are you guys all doing out there? There's 40 of you in the room. Scott Wexlin, hey man, good evening, Dirk, and everyone. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you, Scott, and thanks for that. What are your plans today? Dean says, so what are you wearing to court? Is it a suit? More than likely, yeah. I mean, I think court is a place of business. It's a not a casual place, and I've been to court before, especially for my neighbor Rose and for the incidents I had with the landlord. And I always go dressed for court, and I see people in there. Last summer, I saw people wearing sleeveless tops and, camisoles and lots of jeans and sneakers. And no, I won't be doing any of that. I will definitely be maybe I'll wear a sweater with a blazer over it, or, and a pair of slacks, but I'm certainly not going to wear, street clothes. I just don't think that that's appropriate. I think the decorum is half the battle. I think when you present yourself, and you look like a slob, I won't be wearing Rolex. That's for sure. Not that I'm crying any kind of poverty, because we've paid our rent. It has nothing to do with rent. It has to do with just these fictitious lies and allegations that she's made about the deck, and, that I'm not obeying the law, when no law ever came around to say you got to get rid of it. She just did. It wasn't anybody but her. And even when the Department of Buildings came and analyzed the deck the first time, because they did it again last week. First time around, they came, they saw it, they gave her a summons, and then it got thrown out of court. So I've never, ever, ever denied a motion or an action or an edict or any of those things by any kind of governmental agency. We have only just said no to her because she's trying to remove the studio that I'm in right now. I think I've told you guys, it's like a 15 by 9 second bedroom, which is a slash studio, which I use for my music production and for YouTube. Obviously, this is a giant green screen, but behind that is a window that goes out to the roof, and next to that is the deck, and the deck is on the roof of the building adjacent to me, which my previous landlord owned both buildings, and which my current landlord owns both buildings. So it was sold to her that way. So she's just trying to argue that she just doesn't want it because I have a rent stabilized apartment, and she wants to kick me out so she can renovate it and then deregulate it, and then she'll be able to get probably like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, because that's what it goes. That's what 2 bedrooms go for in New York City, which is super fucked up. Melly C says, "Hey, Melly C, how are you? Happy Easter, Dirk, and all the bashers. Good luck tomorrow." Well, we had a little thing. I'll tell you. I won't obviously say your name or anything, but I got to the post office, and I sent her she got the watch roll, and I got to the post office and I was like, "Oh shit, I don't have her last name." She signed it. She gave me her address, but it said Melly C. And I'm like, text, or email. And I just said, you know what? I have the right address. And it says Melly. It says C. I'm assuming that hopefully, I don't even know if your last name starts with a C. She got back to me later on. She gave me her name. And I was like, it'll probably get there. And if it doesn't, I'll send you another one, because, I have a couple of them. But congratulations on that. And that went out on, was it Thursday? Or Friday. It was one of those things. Andrew Wolkowicz with $2 Canadian. I'm late. Forgive me, and upvote and subscribe. Hey, Andrew. Well, better late than never, my friend. Let's give you a super chat gong for a super duper guy. Andrew Wolkowicz, Canadian, $2. You never need to be forgiven. I'll tell you what I did do last night. Something really interesting is, like, I've been working on this for probably 72 hours, this paperwork nonsense. And it's been really, really horrible. And I took a break because I wanted get a lottery ticket, because the lottery is like $1 billion. And I wanted to go get some Diet Coke and just, some pizza or something, because I couldn't cook. I was too busy doing all this work. And I walked past St. Mary's Church, which is my local Catholic church. And I heard the most glorious music, because the singer there, one of the priests, is an amazing tenor, and I could hear him with this. It's got a beautiful organ. It's a beautiful, beautiful church, about 150 years old. So I said, "Oh, let me just go peek in." And I went in there, and it was Easter Vigil. So the whole place was just, no lights were on. It was all candlelit, and it was unbelievable. So I went in, and I found a seat, found a pew that was empty. So I didn't, it was a lot of families. It was very crowded in there, which was nice to see. And then he gave a liturgy, and then the singer started singing a hymn I had never heard before, and I just broke down crying. I was overwhelmed by everything, just being like, kind of wondering, like, what the fuck did I do that this year's been so shitty. Not going to go there, but it just it was brief. It was a brief moment, and the music and the atmosphere, and it was just beautifully lit in there, and you could see the street lights coming through the stained glass. It felt like a very heavenly experience, but it got to me really, really hard, because I was just thinking to myself, and all Laverne and my parents are dead, and a bunch of weird stuff, and then I have to go to court, and I was just like, I try to be a really good person, and man, woo. Anyway, sorry about that. Claude talks. You're going to do fine. I hope so. It could go a couple of ways, could go, we could get an adjournment, which I'm not against, because they're legally obligated to give you an adjournment for your first appearance. I'm not probably going to do that, because I've got my ducks in a row. I just really need a little bit of legal counsel, because I'm going in there with legal advice. I just don't think an honest person with the facts in a case like this would need to hire an attorney to do what? I'm just going to present every single item that she threw at us and say why that's bullshit. And it is, because every single thing she said was 10-day, first thing she ever sent us was a 10-day cure or vacate, which means to get rid of the deck because she accused us of building it, which is hogwash. I wouldn't know how to do that. And, or get out. And then she sent us another one of those, but it was never decreed by any, body of law. It was just her, but she was claiming it's in violation. It's in violation. It's in violation. Well, when we did finally get a violation on it, because she pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, it was thrown out of court. So she was pissed about that, and she didn't have. So basically, the whole case is based on just her want, and that's all. So I think it should be fine. It's just it's scary. Dean says court is a daunting experience. Just walk tall and don't swear. I would never. I would never. Melly C says thank you. You're welcome, darling. You're one of the most lovely people, and thank you for being a part of the Bastards. A funny name for a bunch of very kind people, but it's on your way, and I sent it the quicker way, so I think you should get it kind of fast. I hope. Roar of the Tiger says belated howdy. Well, a belated howdy to you. Andrew Wilkowicz says sounds lovely. The church really was absolutely beautiful. I have to admit I was a little mad at God for a little while, because shit is weird. But I'm glad you experienced that lovely vigil. It was absolutely very moving. It was so moving. Roar of the Tiger says Gregorian chants are mesmerizing. It wasn't quite that, but it was close. I'll tell you, one time I was in Greece. My band was playing a festival in Athens, and I was just walking around. I think it's called the Plaka or Monastaraki, and we're sightseeing. It was after the show because we only did one show, and then we had a couple of days to just goof off and see Greece. I had never been, and we're walking down this very populated street, stores and restaurants and bars and all that, and smack in the middle of the road. And I bet you I could find it. I bet you I'll look it up and I'll find it because it's super historic, thousands of years old, was an Orthodox church. And it was in the middle of this, it was very small, in the middle of the road, but sunk down deep, like they built around it. And I heard like all this crazy 4-part harmony, Eastern scale stuff. So I went in there, and it was a vigil. It was candlelit, and there were these guys with beards, long beards, in a box and robes on, and they were doing 4-part harmony, and it was amazing. I was like, wow, I wouldn't mind being Greek Orthodox if this is what you get every week. That would be amazing. It was pretty great. So yeah. Andrew says, everyone has a moment when it's just overwhelming from being strong too long. Yeah, that's what I always say about Paul, because he's so strong and so stoic, and and I'm the one that says, he goes boo hoo, I'm the one that has the mental breakdown and starts crying and stuff, and he's very strong. And it's like when we went to take Laverne to be cremated, I can't believe I just said that. My sister was on her way, and she got stuck in traffic or something, and she was running late, and she was going to drive part of the way. He was too nervous to drive. It's like it got to him that way, where he internalized it so much that he's just too nervous to drive. It was just such a bad week, and he stayed strong probably for me. And so yeah, it's true. Everyone has a moment when it's just overwhelming. Melly C says, I hope you win the lottery. Yeah, I've always discussed this about winning the lottery. We talk about it all the time because who needs a lot of money? No one needs that kind of money. So if it's $1 billion plus, you get like $600 million, something like that in the end, which is like a ridiculous amount of money. So you just take, some of it, a portion of it. First thing I'd want to do is just pay off everybody's shit, have mortgages and everything, or just write everybody a quick check for $1 million so they're set up, and then individually just stuff. But then I'd like to put most of that money towards, some kind of animal rescue. I wouldn't create one because that's a lot of work. And plus I'd want to keep every single animal that came my way. So I would probably, find like the greatest. I do think that the ASPCA is a great organization. They're a no kill shelter, and they weren't always, and I think that they do a lot of great stuff. So that and St. Jude's, which I have a real passion for, because if you have kids who come in there with diseases and cancers and things like that, no one ever receives a check there. It's purely by donation. So, and the Animal Medical Center, which in the end, kind of denied me when I was trying to get a second blood transfusion for Laverne. They are completely funded by charity as well and donations. So they are a not-for-profit. But however, when I had already run over a bill of $10,000, and I said to her, and she says, "This is going to be another $6,000." I was like, "Okay, well, can I apply for, they have grants?" And she goes, "Oh, you're not eligible." And I said, "Well, why?" And they said, "Well, because, you've paid this amount of money before, and she's 14." And I just thought that was really, really shitty. But they just changed the name of that. It used to be now it's the Schwartzman Animal Medical Center, and it used to be the Bopst Hospital for my entire life. So, like a lot of times people get their name on a building, and then like David Geffen will show up and say, "I'm going to give you $1 billion." And then they take the old person's name down. Hopefully those people are gone, or their estate doesn't care. Or I think you actually have to buy the estate out to lose the naming rights. They have to buy the naming rights, I think, from you, which with $1 billion is probably easy. They probably said, "Hey, we'll give you $5 or $10 million." And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't you?" Row of the Tiger. To be alone in house in court, pro se, is quite common. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been in there before, not for me, but for my neighbor Rose, who is 87 years old, and this evil dragon lady is also trying to throw her out. Her trial starts next month, so I have a little bit of experience, and I've seen people go in there, and most of them, I would say 90% of them, don't have attorneys, but most of them are in there because they're not paying their rent. This is what's called a holdover case, meaning, and I didn't know what it meant either. Holdover case is I'm she's purporting that I'm living here without a lease. And the only reason why I am technically living here without a lease is because she wouldn't sign it. She sent it to me. I sent it back to her, and she never returned it. So she's claiming she terminated the lease. So I'm now a holdover, which I guess is what that movie was about. They were a bunch of kids that didn't go home for Christmas. So they were holiday holdovers. Very interesting. Le Carre says, "Remember to tell in the court that you are afraid and want a restraining order." Yeah, well, I have something similar to that in effect, where she's not allowed to come near me or speak to me. She's only allowed to communicate with us via electronically, and she has not, other than sending threatening legalese. Um, I think I told you guys already that I'm convinced that she hired an exterminator, and I'm convinced that one of those mice that Laverne got a hold of, or both, or maybe she got more. I don't know. Laverne was quite the mouser, and I'm going to request a subpoena to find out their extermination records, and she's going to try to cheat her way out of that, because I'm convinced she had somebody come in here and put poison all over the basement or wherever, and then one of those scurried up here and she caught him and bit him, and that's what happened. And that's what I think. And because I don't like her anyway, and I think she's that evil. And she's supposed to tell you. Landlords are supposed to tell you when they exterminate a building. I don't think she did. Ray says, "Dirk, hey Ray. Dirk, this too will pass." I hope so. It's like, I'm just wondering when it's going to be freaking Miller time, I really, I'd like to get on a plane. I'd like to go to Italy and have a couple of select cocktails with a Sheen. I'd like to, uh, go to Fano. I just like to just have nothing burning the back of my brain, which unfortunately, it's kind of not going to happen very soon, because next month I have to take uh, Rose to the attorney. I got her an attorney, so she's got one, which is good, because she's got a much different circumstance than I have. She was defrauded of her rent stabilization. Dean says, "If you win $1 billion, I've seen a nice watch, Patek Philippe, small change Dirk." Yeah. You know what? If I win $1 billion, Dean, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to buy you a fucking Patek Philippe. Why not ever give everybody, you know, everybody who, all the bastards are going to get Patek Philippe. How about that? If I win the lottery, you're all getting a Patek. Who wants a world timer? Who wants a Calatrava? But just no Aquanauts, okay? I don't like those watches. I don't. Those watches don't do it for me. The Nautilus and the Aquanaut. I don't know. I know everybody loves those things, but I think they ugly. I think they're so ugly. They're weird shape and they're so expensive. I just don't love them. But whatever. If you want one, you can have one. If I win the lottery and you want one of those, you can have it. Why would I care? I want you to have what you want. You win the billion, you could get a 24 karat gold gong made with eye bashes engraved. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll hire somebody to do it, to bang the gong for me. Andrew says, I heard that in Italy there are 1,500 empty villages that are 1,000 years old. There are. I don't know if it's 1,500, but it's a lot. Think about buying a whole village and having animals live in each house. I mean, the thing about Italy is they're offering, you know, they're doing those dollar houses. It's mostly way, way, way in the south. And, you know, it's very hot down there and the infrastructure is pretty crap. It's in Sicily or Calabria or, you know, south of Napoli. And you get these things, you can get them for $1 and then there's taxes. And then, but you have to put like a couple of $100,000 into them because they're rubble. I've watched a bunch of Lorraine Bracco from The Sopranos, Dr. Melfi, and from Goodfellas. She went and she did a show about buying an Italian house. And it cost her, I think she put like 350. I mean, she's got it, so that's okay because she's a successful actress. But for most people, like I watch a couple of YouTube channels where people go, there's this new guy it's called like something in La Marche, Life in La Marche, and that's where we're planning on going to La Marche. And it's a town called Fano, and it's beautiful. It's on the Adriatic Sea. It's where Paul's family's from, and I'm just madly in love with it. It's a real town. It's not a backwater village. It's got piazza life, and it's got stores, and it's got this beautiful beaches, and it's really very, very cool. It's just not super touristy, which is great. It's a little touristy because it's beautiful, but it doesn't also have the same kind of panache that a lot of other, you know, like Vicenza has or Venice has. It doesn't have that kind of crazy architecture that you'll see in Rome or, you know, or Napoli. It doesn't have any of that. It has a little bit of it, but it's mostly kind of just a small town with great sights. So, yeah, but definitely, and I don't see myself getting another pet anytime soon. That would be too weird, unless of course happenstance just happened to roll my way, and I ran into some little thing on the street, you know, because every single pet I've ever had, every single one of them, and I'll name them all for you: Dinga, Glaucus, Murray, Bruce, Clara, Laverne. Every single one of them I found on the street. Every single one of them. And well, Clara, not exactly. She was some Irish witches. This woman was moving back to Ireland, and she said, "My husband had a cat in the house, and I don't like it. You want to take it?" And I did. I went over there and I took it. Daniel Katz is here. Hey, day at a time. Agreed. And for that, my friend, let's give you the triangle. It's Daniel Katz. Hi, Daniel. I haven't seen you in here in a while. It's nice to see you. Hey, look, Dave, F4. I always want to put, oh, it is F451. Actually, it's a tongue twister. I'm with you pertaining to Patek and AP. Somehow Oshin drank that Kool-Aid. I'm not a Royal Oak guy. I'm not. I'm just not at all a Royal Oak guy. It's, you know what it is? It's Gerald Genta. I just don't think I love anything that Gerald Genta made. It's just not my thing. Some of it's okay, but it's all that kind of 70s, looks very Great Neck, Long Island. It's almost like, you know, kind of like a classy place in you know, in Yonkers. Just got, it's a look that just doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for me. But if somebody gave me a Patek, like one of those, you know, like a Nautilus or a Aquanaut, I would think about, oh my God, which vintage watches can I get? I'd want a vintage Explorer, and of course I'd want like a crazy vintage Speedmaster. You like, like a CK2915, 1, 2, or 3. I mean, 3 doesn't have the broad arrows, but I'd like the broad arrow mostly. But I could go for the 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 3. Those are nice too. I just wouldn't be able to keep it. It's because it's not my thing. Um, Audemars Piguet, like I like them more now than I did, but I don't like screws on the tops of watches. I don't like that look, like Santos, the Cartier ring. I'm just not a big fan of screws on watches. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Row of the Tiger says he upvoted. Thanks very much, man. Well, it's Easter and we got 67 people in here. It's nice to see you all. Dean, £4.99. Get some more lottery tickets. I'm waiting for the watch. Okay, let's give you the huge super chat because you deserve it. I got one last night. I did. I got one last night. I have a couple on the refrigerator that I haven't bothered to check because I'm very bad that way. Melly C says all my kitties have been rescued. Of course they have, because I know what your heart is. I could just tell what your heart is. Dave F451 says, did you say Bacchus? I had a dog named Bacchus. No, we had a cat named Glaucus, Glaucus, and he was so beautiful. He was a perfect black and white Sylvester. I mean, he couldn't have been more beautiful. And he was my first cat. It was the cat that made me not allergic to cats anymore. I was allergic to cats, and I have asthma. Which is, it's in check for the most part. I have one of these things. You can't see it because I can't believe the yellow doesn't work on a greasy. It looks heavenly. I have them if I need them. Every once in a while I get a little wheezy. It happens. But not often. And but I was so allergic to cats that I would have an asthma attack. And I was walking through a snowstorm one day and I heard, and I'm like, oh no, what is that? It was like literally a snowstorm. I was coming home from band rehearsal and I look behind this fence and I see this really old car. I forget what it was, an old Ford or an old Mercury or something. I don't know. And there was a tiny cat sitting in the wheel well of the car on top of the tire. And he was just looking at me. And so I was like, oh, crap, how do I get in there? So I went around, figured a way to get over the fence, opened the door, and then I went back to him, and I put my hand out like this. And he was so cold, he just jumped in my hand and went like this and went down really low to get warm because he was freezing. So I put him in my coat, and I took him home, and I opened up the door, and we already had a dog named Dinga, and Paul was like, what is that? I said, I found this cat in the snow. And he goes, oh my God, we can't keep it. You have asthma and you're going to have an asthma attack. And I was like, oh, he's so cute, blah, blah, blah. So we took him to the vet the next day, got everything he needed. And then I kind of stayed like 3 or 4 rooms away from him for like 3 months. And then 3 months later, I wasn't allergic to cats anymore. And I'm not at all. I built up my own tolerance. His name was Glaucus, and that was named after Ruth Gordon's best friend in the movie Harold and Maude, a character you never see. Roy the Tiger says, sure, it doesn't look. Sure, it doesn't look. Massapequa. That poor cop was laid to rest. His funeral was this morning. This young father is 31 years old, for the international folks, for the international Bashtards. This 31-year-old cop on a regular patrol. Walked up to a car in midday on a busy street. It was a routine traffic violation. He went over to the car, and the guy in the passenger side shot him dead. And he was 31, and he had a 1-year-old child and a young wife. And that was on TV this morning. So I took a break from the paperwork and I watched a lot of that. And I was like, that's just not right. It's not amazing. Guns in this country are just a disaster. It's like I'm not super anti-gun. I think that most gun owners that I know are respectful. They are legal. They are extremely aware. They are prudent with how guns are handled and who can possibly have access to them. I believe that that's true. I just, don't think that people should have AK-47s and things like that. This wasn't that case in that particular thing, but the Bulgari's Octo, designed by Genta, doesn't have screws. Yeah, and I like it. I like the Octo. Something about it, but the thing with that is like Gerald Genta always has the weird shapes. Like, for example, that is like it's like an octagon, but it's got a square in it. So there's always like a juxtaposition of shapes and things like the Nautilus. What shape is that? It's not a shape known to nature. It's like kind of a rectangle, and it's kind of round, and it kind of has edges in there. And see, I just think it's weird. I don't get it. Hey, Vetster, how are you? Happy Easter to those who celebrate. Agreed. Bob Sacamano says, court tomorrow. Well, I have a holdover case against me from my evil new landlord who wanted to remove my deck and my roof terrace, and she wanted to remove my the room that I'm in. She wants it sealed up because God knows why she wants to do that. But she claims in her legal declarations that I was evading the law by not allowing her to come and take it away. But at no time, Bob, I said this to everybody before, at no time did I ever defy the law. No one ever told me to get rid of it but her. She was the only one that said it was illegal. And then finally, when somebody came and inspected it, they gave her a summons because it never had a permit, apparently, when they first built it before I got here. And then they threw it out of court. So no one's ever said legally that it needs to go, ever. So that's why I'm going tomorrow, because she actually sent me she's trying to evict me. I've lived here for 30 years. It'll be 31 years in July I've lived here. Claude Talks says, please record I don't like it in that voice and cue it from time to time. I don't like it. I have that. I don't like it. Maybe I'll do that. You're so smart. I should do that. F451. I'm going to write a note down so I don't remember. I'll do it right after the show because, this is actually the microphone I use to record all my singing on. Oh, because this is my recording setup right here. Who is this for? I don't like it. Record it. Okay. I wrote it down with like a pen. Look out. F451 is a reference you probably know. Oh, it refers to what I did since I was 18. That's a Ferrari, right? Right? Is that what that is? I think it is. I'll tell you, if you like Ferraris, if I'm wrong, F451. Oh, Fahrenheit. Okay. Right. Oh, duh. I'm so stupid. Duh. Did I mention to you the other day, now that I know that, but I never put that together. I always thought it was a car, like a Ferrari. And I know a lot of Ferrari references because my friend Mary had a couple of them. His older friend who has a F355 Berlinetta, and she's got a Dino, 74 Dino. And I made her buy a Corvette because she was like, she bought a Cayman, she hated it. She bought a Maserati, she hated it. And I said, those new Corvettes, they look great, and man, they're faster than fuck. She goes, they're stupid and they're American. And I'm like, now she's got one and she loves it, or she did. I haven't spoken to her in a while. Where was I? I was out on Long Island, and the cremation day, and walking through this kind of fancy village called West Hampton. It's in the Hamptons, but it's like the lesser of the Hamptons. Hampton Bays is the least, and West Hampton, then all the good stuff like Southampton, Bridgehampton, East Hampton. Those are the fancy ones. And there was a store called Fahrenheit 451, and I was like, "Is that where you go for like dystopian garb?" Like, that's how stupid people are. Andrew says, loving the background today. When I was a kid, I believed that when the sun comes down through the clouds, it's God letting souls into heaven. That would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be really, really, really nice. I hope that's all true. I think it is. Some of it. I think it is. Dean, Dirk, did you watch any of Ashin's live stream last night? Wow, a lot of flooding, high tide. Oh, shit. I did. I tuned in for a half a minute because I was so knee deep in paperwork, like for the last 72 hours. And I just saw him talking to the camera and smoking a cigar, and I was like, okay, it's just more talking to the camera and smoking a cigar. I didn't see any of that. So they had like severe aqua alto. That's when the sirens go off and all that stuff. I didn't see it. I'll have to rewatch it because now that I'm done with the paperwork and I'm just awaiting critique and whatever I need to do to finish it, which will happen later tonight because this is the show. And I'm going to actually eat something because I think I had 3 cups of coffee and a Diet Coke, and that's all. I didn't do anything else. Wow. I'll have to check it out. Thanks, Dean. Bob Sacamano says the Octofinissimo is too spaceshipy. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen one in person, so we'll see. Hey, Andy Dufresne. Fron Ostern. Happy Easter to everyone. Well, Froha. How do you say it? Froha? Fro Ostern. My German and my Austrian German is not good. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Ray Bradbury. Of course. Yeah, there is a F450 Italia, so it's close. Yeah, and I do love that car. That's a beautiful, beautiful car. Ray says, while you're in recording mode, Child in Time verse, please. You know what's really funny is the other day, Emmett, and I'm going to play it for you. Can I do that? Oh, shit, because it's on Instagram. Can I play Instagram and get audio? I tried to do it the other night and I couldn't but this is, because I had lots of people on the show and we wound up not playing. Hold on, Liquid. Emmett O'Malley, Oshin's brother and fabulous guitar player and Dana's husband, who is also a lovely singer. And he doesn't give himself any credit for that. But, I mean, obviously we all know he's a lovely guitar player, but he sang Pilot's Dream from Jesus Christ Superstar. And we're all big Jesus Christ Superstar aficionados. We love it. We love it. Love it. And we argue about the versions because I like the original version because I like Ian Gillan and they like that guy Ted Neely and I don't like him. But I like Carl Anderson the best from the movie. But Barry Denon plays Pilot in all the versions, the original album, the movie, the Broadway production, the West End. And so we can agree on him. And I love that song. And he did such a beautiful job. It might be my favorite. I mean, I watched a million Pilot streams yesterday or the other day, and I was like, none of them are as good as Emmett's. None of them. It's crazy. Richard Petrie. Hey, Richard Petrie. Happy Easter, D. Happy Easter to you, Richard. And Dave, and now I'm going to call you Dave Fahrenheit 451. Last night on Oshin stream, it looked like it had rained a lot because the streets were completely flooded. Well, what happens? I mean, it doesn't have to rain per se. Rain doesn't help. But it's like, if you look at what Venice is in a lagoon. So it's in this kind of horseshoe. It's in the center of a horseshoe. And then on the periphery of, like, I'm sure a lot of you know this, but for those who don't, and then it's like, there's sandbars that protect it from the Adriatic Sea. And that's the Lido and Malimoco and all those other places that are out there. And when the tide gets really, really high, they don't particularly encroach upon the Lido, but there's separations in between, and the water gets channel tunneled and thrown through it, and it gets very high. Now they have this device called the Mose, and that cost a couple of $1 billion. And for some crazy reason, they don't turn it on because they actually have to get permission from Rome. I mean, why not just ask the Pope? I mean, they have to go and get permission from Rome because Rome dictates everything that happens legally in that country, which is crazy because we're flooding here. We're flooding here, people. It's really nuts. Andrew says, get Kerry to record Charlie, the choo-choo train, choo-choo train, choo-choo train, Charlie, the choo-choo train came running down the tracks. She would definitely, my sister has this country twang to her vocal stylings. She's a little bit country. Dave said it was so flooded they were using boats to get around. It happens. It hasn't happened in a couple of years, but it's a shame that it did. And because it's avoidable now, unless it was so high it went over the Mose. I doubt it, though. I'm going to Google that after we're done. Mark Gerard. Hey, Mark Gerard. Happy Easter, Dirk. Hope the day tomorrow goes well. Thank you so much. I hope so, too, because I can't see it going any other way because I didn't do anything. 100% right. I didn't, there's no dishonesty. There's nothing. We did nothing but live here and pay the rent as we have for 30 years. We've done nothing. She's just been a monster. She's a monster person. And I hope the judge throws the book at her. And I hope she has to apologize. And I hope she has to get the permit. And I hope she has to give me a new lease. I hope she has to do all those things and eat humble pie. And you know what I'll do? I'll forgive her. I will. Because I want to stay here. This is my apartment. This is my home. I don't want to live next to somebody whom I hate. I'll give her the opportunity to do the same thing. That's it. It's Easter, man. Forgiveness. It's the greatest tool we have. It is the absolute greatest thing we could do to another person is to forgive them. Mark says, I think I've seen you somewhere. I remember. Is that a quote or you think you've actually seen me? Well, I've seen you on the show. Dean says, Asheen deleted the live video more or less after the stream. Oh, that sucks. Well, I could still get it. He'll send it to me. Mark says, you were that man they took away. I don't know what that's in reference to, but it's funny. Richard Petrie, happy Easter, Dirk, and good luck tomorrow. P.S. Listening to Blue Oyster Cult's Agents of Fortune. That's the only Blue Oyster Cult. No, I don't know. I have one called Objects in the Mirror Closer Than They Appear, I think it's called. I only have two because I've never been a big Blue Oyster Cult fan, but I do love that album, Agents of Fortune. I love the cover. It's a great cover. Rufus says, happy Easter. Happy Easter, Rufus. How are you doing? It's good to see that you're in the room. So yeah, I mean, I'm just haven't gotten much sleep. Just been kind of dozing just to get that done, and we'll see how it goes. Mark also says, Jesus Christ Superstar, Peter's Denial. Oh yeah, well, I mean, I did record a couple of songs from that because I used to do these. I don't have them handy. I don't think I don't. I used to do a little stupid Christmas album every year. I would just sing a bunch of songs and give them to people I like. And then but I only did that once. And then I did it every year with guest stars, which was really fun because everybody come in here and we'd have a couple of drinks and so one year I did Heaven on Their Minds, which is the opening track. And Gethsemane is my favorite. And Everything's All Right. We did. And that was really fun. That was with Colin and my friend Mary Ryan, two superb singers. And I was going to do Gethsemane. And then I was like, oh, nobody should touch that song because Gillan's is the greatest. But it's funny. After I watched Emmett do that, I went into a session I did years ago of Gethsemane. And I was like, it's not so bad. So I went in there and just saw what I could do to finish it. And I think once this little court thing is wrapped up, I think maybe my first project back in is maybe I'll just finish Gethsemane because that's a beautiful song. It's just really high. I think it's like a C5. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's yeah, I think it is. It's up there. Andrew says, do unto others before they do unto you. Ain't that the truth? And my sister is here. I do not have a country twang. Dirk and I do need to record Charlie the choo-choo train, choo-choo train, choo-choo train, Charlie the choo-choo train coming down the tracks. You do. You have a little bit of a country. She could have been a country star at one point. She was really into singing before I was. I mean, we sang around the house a lot, but I think that she was more ballsy. She had a lot more, gusto than I did. I was always like, oh no, don't make me sing. Don't make me sing. Oh, don't make me sing. That's a great Kristen Wiig skit. She's like, don't make me sing. Oh my God, don't make me sing. Mark says Peter later did more secular films. True. Andrew, Carey, get Paul to design a cover for it and make it a family effort. Paul has designed a bunch of album covers for me. Hitman, why is some great stuff. The Viva Des Machina album, he did the whole thing, the illustrations for every song, because it was inspired by Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, where when you open that up, every single song has a little picture to show you what the story is about, which is really cool. So let me see if I can get that in here. I'm going to try to get you Emmett's thing. Let me see. Charlie the choo-choo train, choo-choo train, choo-choo train, Charlie the choo-choo train, running down the tracks. Let's see. Do I have an Instagram? I do. Look at that. Okay. Because I don't have it on Chrome, but if I don't do it on Chrome, you guys won't get the audio, and that's obviously what's the point. Okay, that's really not bad. And it is, what is my email? Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm going to go to Instagram right now and hope this works. Because you really should see it. It's great. Sorry, your password is incorrect. Please double check your password. How could that possibly be? How could that possibly be? Because I just copied it from my keychain. Okay. Is that wrong? It can't possibly be wrong. Let's see. I know I had to change it at one point because I got hacked by a Russian prostitute. I'm not kidding. It was a Russian prostitute. Huh. Let me see. Forgot password. Let me just do this. Email. I should have figured this out already, right? I wish he had put it on YouTube. Charlie the choo-choo train, choo-choo train, choo-choo train. Charlie the choo-choo train comes running down the tracks. Now I gotta go check my email. I don't know. That's weird. Tomorrow court in Austria, Easter Monday is a holiday. It should be here, but this is a heathen country. Mark says, Dirk, if you like Harold and Maude, you probably like it, dude. If you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. There's a whole lot of loving to be. You know that you want. I mean, nobody sounds like Cat Stevens, do they? I don't think so. I don't think anybody does. Let's see. Oh, we sent an email to... Oh, shit. What is that? We sent an email to... What the sent an email to msomething@gmail.com. I don't have an email called that. What could that possibly be? Did I get hacked again with Instagram? Shit. Oh. It just said we sent an email to M blank 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 blank. I don't have any emails. Shit. Andrew says, the Kennedy family Christmas record. Get all the kids singing like a choir. I hate nothing more than children singing. I told you guys that story. Somebody goes, you're a monster. You're a fucking monster. I was hugged by a Russian prostitute. There's a story there. No, like one day I noticed on Facebook, because they're the same accounts, that I was like, your friend Elena Bratislava loved this, and it was a picture of her like doing like the big booby. I was like, who's that? She's not my friend. And then I went onto my Instagram and I couldn't get on there, and I figured it out. And then I looked and the email was different. So now that means I got hacked again. Oh shit. Like if I go into Instagram on my shit, do I do it on my because I don't use Chrome for anything. I use Safari. So if I go on Instagram now, does it let me on? Or did I get hacked for Easter? Okay. It says the real Dirk Kennedy, the dirkkennedy.com. I'm going to change that because it's really shitty. How do you change that? I'll do it after the show. I really wanted to, because you won't be able to hear the audio if I don't do it within Chrome. But anyway, go to Emmett O'Malley's Instagram and watch his pilot stream. It's actually quite beautiful. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's hard to get by just upon a slide, girl. Drink more wine, then the kids will sound fine. Yeah, it's just like when you hear like kids, the sound will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Oh God, I like adults singing. I like the kids singing on. Oh dear God, that's a great song. I like XTC. I like an album called Nonsuch, and everybody else likes Skylarking, but for me, Nonsuch is one of my absolute favorites. Um, 20 minutes into the 50 minutes into the hour, I think it's time we boot up a couple of shots, don't you think? Let's do it, because I don't do that. I didn't do it on Friday. I would have done it had it not got out of control. It's Andrew Wolkovich, isn't it? Time to take a nap with his 28-year-old cats. They're also very large cats. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so nice to have a cat for a snooze. I miss snoozing with Laverne. She was a great sleep mate. She used to go into the crevasse that the blanket would make. Who we got here? Vaughn. Hey, Vaughn. Boulevard Marine Star. Let's have a look at that. Remember to send your comments to basharddirk@gmail.com. Let's see if I can get that up here. Banners. basharddirk@gmail.com. This way you share it with me and I share it with the world. This is a beautiful, beautiful Marine Star by Boulevard. Boulevard, founded in Flushing, Queens. Actually, technically, I think it's Woodside, Queens. Building is still there. It is now a corporate park, but it's beautiful. And it's that real kind of fascist architecture, which I like. A lot of people don't, but I like it. Mr. Christensen says, here he is wearing his shitter. Okay. Now, if that's a shitter to nobody, pal. Yeah, that's the classic, man. The sub no date. That's if I was to have a sub, that's the Emmett O'Malley watch. If I was to have one, it would certainly be that one. It is beautiful and it looks great on you. And that's far from a shitter. That's funny though. Okay, so and then we have Mr. Wolkovich again. Who wants cuddle time? Oh, we all want cuddle time. Everybody wants cuddle time. Oh, look at this baby. Wow, what a lioness. Wow. Andrew is the guy with the oldest cats in the whole wide world. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. And I wish I was in your league, man. Because what I wouldn't do for a little bit more Laverne time. Just, it's beyond me. It's beyond my realm of thinking. Oh, hello, baby. Oh, I love it. Sheen O'Malley is hilarious. He goes, I was on talking about Palestine and Israel and blah. He goes, blah, 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 the important stuff. And he's like, what were you doing? What do you guys talk about? Cats. I was like, yeah, we do. He goes, you talk about Kiss and I don't talk about Kiss. Barbara Streisand and cats. What of it? What of it? What of it? That was beautiful. Andrew, you got so many pictures of cats and more. Never a shortage of cats from Andrew Wolkovich. Look at this. Look at this melange of kitty cats. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We love it. Thank you, Andrew. It's cheery. It's cheery to see cats. I haven't had any, contact with any kitties lately. It's Ray coming to you from the west of Ireland with his G-Shock. G-Shock, G-Shock, G-Shock. I have a G-Shock now. I'm not wearing it right now, but I wore it yesterday. I'm going to use it for sports purposes because, I'm so sporty. I used to be kind of sporty. I don't know what happened to me. Mark Wild. Hey, look at this BMW. Wow. Looks like the kind of motorcycle that Neil Peart from Rush used to caravan around on. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this thing. Wow. Wow, is that crazy? Hey, just send your pictures to basharddirk@gmail.com. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. You got two there? You do? Wow. I think that might be the actual bike that he used to ride around on. Looks maybe a little too choppery, though. This looks a little sportier than the one. I think his was nerdy. And that one, this is beautiful, though. Holy shit. Look at that beautiful train. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. What a shot, man. That's like a catalog shot, Mark. That really is. In Yorkshire. Beautiful. From today's ride and beautiful in the Yorkshire Dales in northern England. I'd like to see the Lake Country because I didn't even know that that existed. I don't know if we're going to get the sound on this. You might. This is Cheery from Ray, me, and Fred Astaire. Now, if you said that to somebody, they'd be like, "What a fucking weirdo." I'll watch the rest of that. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it was pretty cool that it played. Happy Easter to you. Hey, Vaughn with a Frollo in Toronto. Let's have a look. Wow, look at that. It's looking handsome. It's looking handsome. The fat ugly guy from that watch channel. He was saying bad shit about it, right? They're just jealous. It's a beautiful watch. It's beautiful. I think I love the design. It's very the indices are so Rolex. The hands remind me of Omega. I love the I love how the bezel's kind of wide. It's very cool. I mean, it's a great watch. Really beautiful. Love the gondola. Very nice. Very nice. And I love that. Look at that. He designed that and you've got it and you're in Toronto. Isn't that great? Because it's Toronto, right? Not Toronto. Toronto. Um Senior wants attention. Oh my God. Man. And I know you're giving her tons of it. I know it. Beautiful. What a baby. Oh man. It's beautiful. It's and Morgana and Olive. Let's have a look. Here you go, Sheen. More cats. Cats, cats, cats. Oh, look at you. Oh, they love the sunshine. Oh, look at you, black and white. Laverne is on my bed right now because there was a ray of sunshine coming in, and I took her. She's still in her bag, in her tin, in her bag, and there's like kiss marks all over the bag. Hey, Melly Snee, more Snoopy. Melly. Are you thinking about Melly C? Are you thinking about getting the oh, look at you. What a baby. Oh, what a baby. As everybody knows, Melly C won the watch roll this week because she had the cutest cat. To be fair, it wasn't a big cat night. Like Andrew, you didn't have a lot of cats on that night, but yeah, there he is. This looks so much like Glaucus looked just like the, except he had a black nose. And he was absolutely beautiful. Actually, I have a picture that I can show you. Can I boot this up right now? Hold on a second. Because I was just going, because actually Glaucus is part of my lawsuit because they're like trying to pretend I didn't have this deck for as many years as I've had it. And I have a picture from 1993 and it was Glaucus on the deck. And it is here. Let me see if it's in here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I know I have it somewhere. Where did I see it? Oh, PDF. Go away, PDF. PDFs make my computer slow. Where? Oh no, it was in the DOB one, I think. It was in exhibits, exhibit pictures. Nope, exhibits too. Nope, exhibit. Where was it? Oh no. Huh. I know I'm goofing around, but they weren't PDFs, they were photographs. Exhibits. I'll get it up for the next show because I'm goofing around. I'm just goofing around. Watch shopping for the Three Amigos. Well, that's beautiful. I mean, that Aquaterra is absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. There you go. The beautiful Aquaterra, of course, the Speedmaster Professional, and then a Speedmaster Reduced with a date, which is fantastic. And those are like I've been telling everybody on this channel ad nauseum to try to get some of those because they're easy to get. They're beautiful. They have great movements in them. They're all Lamania based movements. They're fantastic. I think everybody should get one. They're gorgeous. I love it. Look at this. Let's blow this up. Can I blow this up? Oh, it won't let me. Won't let me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. That's okay. Jess Martin has the El Primero, which we love. We love an El Primero. I like that much more because you know me, I don't like the oh, that's beautiful, man. It looks great on your wrist too. It's perfect size. Perfect size. This is a guy that knows the size. Very nice. That's perfect. And I would want that over a Daytona any day of the week because I think Daytonas are not my thing. I mean, they're beautiful watches. I get it. But just not my thing. Vedran, hello. Oh, some more baby shots. Let's do it. And by baby, I mean your dog. Look at that. Fantastic. And then he's going to school. I don't know what that is. Can't tell. It's vintage, though. I boot that up. Oh, yeah, that's amazing watch. Yeah, tell me more about that thing. I need to learn. And the Tissot. I love Tissot. Everybody should get a Tissot. They're very reasonable and they're great and they're not shitters, but they're beautiful. I think everybody should get one. And Dear Artifact, wearing his Speedmaster Professional. How could you possibly go wrong? That's the 3861 model, the newest model in the Omega Speedmaster Professional catalog with 3861 movement, an absolute beauty and absolute class. It's great. Did you just get this? Or is it a recent acquisition or not? Did I not play that? I thought I did. Did I show it? I have it on my screen, but did you guys see it? I don't think you did. I don't think it went. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's no dial more legible than that. It's really, really, that's the Speedmaster. Dot over 90. I'm one of those guys that thinks that they shouldn't put the dot over 90 on the watches anymore. I just think, they had dot over 90. They don't anymore because now they all do again. Let's see what I missed out in the chats before we close it out on this Easter Sunday. No sound. Looks like the film was set around 1890. Right. It's supposed to be set around. There was no sound. And that was even in my Gmail. John Doe. Dirk, I bought one yesterday in the Frollo shop. Very good. Hey, you're the guy that ran into a Sheen on the canal, right? And then you're like, where do I get one of those? That's cool. There you go. I was the guy who bumped into Sheen as soon as I arrived in Venice. Right. You got off the train and there was a Sheen. How crazy is that? At Santa Lucia, Stazione Santa Lucia. I love that station. It looks so Mussolini. Andrew, John Doe, cool timing. John Doe says, Andrew, what are the chances? Thousands of people everywhere packed over Easter. In my mind, Venice is a Sheen, and boom, there he was. He was great. That was the day he wasted his time and went to Vicenza and got nowhere, right? John Doe, population of Venice is 50,000 plus tourism. So I'd estimate the odds at 100. I don't think the population of Venice is 50,000. I think the population of Venice is like 10,000 in Venice proper, not including Mestre and all those, satellite. I'm talking about in Venice proper. I'd be surprised if it was 10,000. I would, because it's not a lot of land. It's a very small place. Andrew Dufresne says, Seagal. Andrew says, nice speed. Yeah, it's beautiful. He says, yeah, crazy, because it is. I sent you an email with a photo of my pickup truck. Hey, well, then let me go find it. I already shut the mail down, but, hey, we're on here. Let's go see what it is. There it is. There it is, John Doe. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. This is very exciting. Let's share the screen. Look at you in Frollo. That's so great. Look at that. Oh, you got the blue one. Yeah, I like the blue one too. That's my personal favorite. Look at that. In Frollo shop. Did a Sheen go with you? Or did you have to park company? Isn't that funny? That's great. How great is that? That is so cool, man. Congratulations on that. That is really great. Melly C says that Zenith is gorgeous. That Zenith was gorgeous. Holy shit. Andrew Olkovich, everyone, please upvote, share, and subscribe. Be an inspiration to others' lives and a blessing in their memories. Absolutely, please do that. We had a pretty good show tonight, considering that it's Easter Sunday, and I didn't really give you much warning at all. So I want to thank every single person for coming in here and joining us on this Easter Sunday. It was a nice little respite from me getting all this paperwork together. But here I am. Here's my answer to the courts with my exhibits all lined up, and here they all are, ready to go. They're all like I'm some kind of secretary. Horrible, absolutely horrible. Andrew, I didn't give you the bang. You need a good bang. You need a good bang, Andrew. Bang. Thank you for that, Andrew. You know how much I love you, man. You're like the greatest. Thank you. He says, nice Frollo. Then he says, you gave me directions. And he had a tough day. He got on the train for an hour and went absolutely nowhere. Doesn't that suck? Colm, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to need it. But, I've got the truth and righteousness on my side. So, unless, I don't know, unless she murders me or something horrific like that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Have a happy, blessed Easter. And for everyone who is off tomorrow, have a happy Easter Monday. I can't thank you enough for joining me. And remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. Remember to try to not be a dick, unless, of course, that person is a total cunt.